BBC News at midday. Ukraine's President Zelensky has warned that hundreds of thousands of people have been left without access to drinking water after the destruction of the Novakhovka Dam in the south of the country yesterday. Entire neighbourhoods have been left submerged and tens of thousands of people remain stranded. Water levels are expected to peak in Kherson later today. Our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams, who's monitoring events from Kiev, says the scale of the devastation is becoming clear.
I've seen scenes from an area where the Dnipro and Kosheva rivers join, which are basically underwater. The water has reached rooftop level, so there are neighbourhoods of Kherson that are completely submerged. And that very much echoes the scene elsewhere along the Dnipro, where in these little communities on either side of the river, you're seeing similar scenes.
Prince Harry is undergoing a second day of cross-examination in his damages claim against Mirror Group newspapers at the High Court. He says the group used unlawful means, including phone hacking, to get information about his private life. MGN says all its sources for stories about the Prince were legitimate. Our correspondent Helena Wilkinson sent this report from the hearing.
Prince Harry is being pressed by the Mirror newspaper's barrister on the remaining 33 articles he's relying on to try to prove unlawful news gathering took place by the publisher. One story in 2006 was about Harry apparently visiting a strip joint. The story said his then-girlfriend Chelsea Davy went berserk when she found out. Prince Harry claims details were uncovered unlawfully, pointing specifically to phone hacking. Another story about a knee injury Harry had in the army has been discussed in court. Again, the Prince claims those details were uncovered unlawfully. But the Mirror's lawyer said the injury was public knowledge and the story could have been gained legitimately.
The Unite Union has announced that 2,000 security officers at Heathrow Airport are to walk out for 31 days this summer in an escalation of their dispute over pay. The strike dates mainly cover weekends and include the Eid festival, the start of the school holidays and the August bank holiday. A 14-year-old boy has died following an incident in the grounds of a school in West Lothian. Emergency services were called to St Kentigern's Academy in Blackburn yesterday lunchtime. Sarah Toome reports.
It was 1:20 in the afternoon when police were called to the school over concerns for a teenage boy after what teachers described as an isolated incident on the grounds. The pupil was rushed to hospital by ambulance but died shortly after. Police say inquiries are ongoing to establish the full circumstances of the death. A statement posted on the school's website said all parents of pupils directly affected have been contacted and they are assisting authorities with their inquiries. It said emotional support and signposting to services is being made available for students impacted by the incident.
Pope Francis has arrived at hospital in Rome where he's to undergo abdominal surgery. The Vatican said the hernia operation would take place this afternoon under general anaesthetic. The government is launching a 2-year pilot scheme to see if weight loss injections can reduce pressure on the NHS caused by obesity. GPs in some parts of England will be allowed to prescribe the Wegovy jab, which makes people feel full. The doctor and TV presenter Chris Van Tulleken says the wider use of the drug is overdue.
At the moment, provision in the UK is extremely inequitable. So they're essentially available privately, but not really on the NHS at the moment. And private purchase has led to big shortages of the drug. So anything that expands access to an effective drug is a really good thing.
Cricket, the all-rounder Moeen Ali is back in the England Test squad almost 2 years after retiring from the 5-day format. The 35-year-old has been recalled for the start of the Ashes series against Australia because of the injury to England's main spin bowler Jack Leach. BBC